Chasing Path, your destination for motivation and growth. Welcome to Chasing Path, a YouTube channel dedicated to inspiring and empowering you on your journey to success. Here, we explore deep philosophical insights, powerful motivational essays, and thought-provoking content designed to push you beyond your limits. Whether you seek self-improvement, resilience, or a fresh perspective on life, Chasing Path is here to fuel your mind and spirit. Stay motivated. Stay focused. Keep chasing your path to greatness. Let's dive into the content. Alone we are weak, together we are invincible. Unity is not just strength, it is survival. The storm may break your plans, but never let it break your spirit. Failure is not the end, it is the foundation for your greatest success. Your dreams are never shattered, they are only waiting to be rebuilt stronger. A heart that rises from failure is stronger than one that has never faced it. True kindness is not expecting anything in return, yet it brings the greatest rewards. Fate may be written, but effort is the pen that can rewrite it. The world may laugh at your dreams today, but tomorrow, it will admire your success. Stand together, or fall alone, the choice is yours. If you want to change your life, start by changing someone else's. Strength is not about standing tall alone, but in lifting others up with you. You cannot control the storms of life, but you can control how you sail through them. Greatness is not in never falling, but in rising every time you do. When life breaks you, remember, you are the sculptor of your own destiny. The true test of character is not in how high you rise, but in how well you rise after falling. Never underestimate the power of small acts of kindness, they might change your entire fate. Dream big, fall hard, rise stronger. Story title: The Power of Unity, Strength Togetherness. United we stand, divided we fall. A farmer owned 100 sheep, and he cared for them with great dedication. Every morning and evening, he sent them out to graze, and they always returned home together, safe and sound. One day, as they were heading out, they overheard two villagers talking. "Did you hear? A leopard has been roaming around for the past few days." One man said. "Yes, I saw it myself. It comes from the forest and wanders near our village," the other replied. The sheep grew nervous. What if we encounter the leopard? What will happen to us? Sensing the fear among them, the oldest and wisest sheep spoke up. "Listen, my friends. Danger may be near, but we have one powerful weapon, our unity. If we stay together, the leopard cannot harm us easily. But if we separate, we become weak and vulnerable. So, from today, we must never wander alone." Most of the sheep agreed, realizing the truth in the leader's words. But a few young and overconfident ones laughed. "Why should we listen to you? We are strong and fast. If the leopard comes, we can escape easily. But you, old one, will be the first to be caught." They mocked. Ignoring the advice, they began wandering off on their own. Days passed, and nothing happened, until one fateful evening. The leopard, hungry and desperate, spotted the flock. It hid and watched. Too many of them together. "But if I wait, one will stray," it thought. As expected, one of the arrogant sheep had wandered far from the others. In a flash, the leopard pounced. The sheep had no time to react. It was gone in an instant. The rest of the flock had no idea. Day after day, the leopard patiently picked off the lone wanderers, one by one. The foolish ones who ignored the leader's wisdom disappeared without a trace. Now, only the united sheep remained. But the leopard was still hungry. This time, it wanted more. One morning, it boldly stood in their path. Fear gripped the flock. Some trembled. Some cried. Then, suddenly, they all began to bleat loudly, together. The sound echoed through the village. Hearing the noise, the villagers rushed out. When they saw the leopard, they grabbed whatever they could, sticks, stones, anything, and ran toward it. Seeing the large crowd, the leopard panicked. It was no longer the hunter, it was the hunted. It turned and fled into the forest, never to return. The sheep had won. The lesson: unity is strength. The lonely sheep, when attacked, had no one to help them. But when the entire flock cried out together, they were saved. In life, too, we must stand together. With our families, our friends, and our communities. When we support each other, we become unbreakable. Alone, we are weak. But together, we are unstoppable. Next story. Story title: The Unbreakable Spirit, Rise Again. In a quiet village nestled between towering mountains, there lived a young man named Arjun. From childhood, he dreamed of becoming a great sculptor, crafting masterpieces that would inspire generations. His father, an ordinary stonecutter, often told him, "Greatness is not in the tools, but in the hands that shape them." Arjun practiced tirelessly, chiseling small stones, creating intricate designs, and studying under local artisans. However, the world was not kind to dreamers. People laughed at his ambitions, saying, "You are just a poor stonecutter's son. Dreams don't feed empty stomachs." One day, a royal messenger arrived in the village, announcing a grand competition. The kingdom's palace needed a magnificent statue of the legendary warrior king. The one who sculpted the best statue would receive wealth, honor, and a place in history. Arjun's heart raced. This was his moment. He gathered the best tools he could afford, selected a massive rock, and began sculpting. Day and night, he worked with unmatched dedication. His hands bled, his body ached, but he refused to stop. As weeks passed, his creation began taking form: a majestic warrior, standing tall with strength and grace. The villagers, once skeptical, now watched in awe. But fate had a cruel twist. A powerful storm struck the village. The winds howled, the rains lashed, and in one devastating moment, a massive tree crashed onto Arjun's nearly completed statue, shattering it into pieces. Arjun stood frozen, his dreams crushed before his eyes. He dropped to his knees, tears mixing with the rain. Everything was lost. Days passed in silence. He locked himself inside his small hut, refusing to speak or eat. The villagers whispered, he was foolish to dream so big. Then, one evening, his father placed a small chisel beside him and said, "A sculptor's true test is not in creating but in starting again." Those words ignited something in Arjun. He wiped his tears, took a deep breath, and walked back to the ruins of his shattered statue. Instead of mourning, he saw an opportunity. The broken pieces could still be reshaped. With renewed determination, he worked harder than ever before. He reimagined his sculpture, adjusting every curve, refining every detail. His pain fueled his passion, and his failure became his greatest teacher. When the competition day arrived, his masterpiece stood before the royal judges, stronger, more refined, and more powerful than before. The king himself stood in awe and declared, "This is not just a statue. It is the spirit of resilience carved into stone. You have won." Arjun was honored, his name forever etched in history. The lesson: life will break you, storms will come, and failures will test you. But those who rise from the ruins, stronger than before, are the ones who truly succeed. No matter how many times you fall, rise again. Because the unbreakable spirit is the one that shapes destiny. Next story. Title: Selfless Kindness, The Path to True Fortune. A beggar used to take alms and eat daily at the entrance of a temple. One day, a great sage visited the temple. Seeing him, the beggar asked, "Swami, will my life always remain like this until the end?" The sage replied, "This is your fate, written on your forehead. Your life will continue like this until the end. However, if you meet Lord Buddha, there is a chance that your fate may change. Go and see him." Hearing this, the beggar set out to meet Buddha. As it was getting late, he knocked on the door of a wealthy man's house and asked, "Sir, may I stay here tonight and rest?" The rich man asked, "Where are you going?" The beggar explained everything. The wealthy man and his wife then requested, "We need a favor from you. We have a daughter who has been mute since birth. Please ask Buddha when she will be able to speak and let us know." The beggar agreed and, after resting for the night, continued his journey the next morning. After a long walk, he encountered a large mountain, which he was unable to cross. At that moment, a magician appeared and said, "I will help you cross this mountain with my magic spell, but you must do me a favor." The beggar asked, "What is it?" The magician replied, "I have been unable to attain salvation for 500 years. Please ask Buddha what I must do to attain liberation." The beggar agreed, and the magician helped him cross the mountain. As he continued his journey, he came across a river. Realizing that he had to cross the river to reach Buddha, he wondered how to do so. Just then, a turtle appeared and said, "I will help you cross the river, but in return, you must ask Buddha how I can gain the ability to fly." The beggar agreed, and the turtle carried him across the river. Eventually, the beggar reached Buddha, received his blessings, and was given the opportunity to ask 3 questions. However, he realized he had 4 questions to ask. Unsure of what to do, he thought, "I can give up my own question and only ask about the 3 people's problems." He then presented the 3 questions to Buddha and received their answers. On his way back, he first met the turtle, who eagerly asked, "What did Buddha say about my question?" The beggar replied, "If you remove your shell, you will gain the ability to fly." The turtle immediately removed its shell and, upon doing so, started flying. Inside the shell, the beggar found precious pearls and gems, which he took with him. Next, he met the magician and conveyed Buddha's message. "You must let go of your magic wand to attain salvation." The magician immediately handed over his wand to the beggar and attained liberation. Finally, the beggar reached the wealthy man's house. The man asked, "When will my daughter speak?" The beggar replied, "She will speak when she meets the person she truly likes." Just then, the wealthy man's daughter, who was on the upper floor, came running down and said, "Father, isn't this the man who came here last night?" The wealthy man was astonished. Realizing that his daughter liked the beggar, he arranged for their marriage. The beggar, who once had nothing, now had wealth, precious gems, a magical staff, and a loving wife. He lived happily ever after. Moral of the story: when we pray for others' well-being rather than just our own, not only do we help them, but our own troubles also disappear. While fate cannot be changed, efforts can still shape our destiny. A person who works hard with humanity and compassion will always find a way to a better life. If this video inspired you, don't forget to like, comment, and share your thoughts below. Your support helps us create more powerful content. And if you haven't already, subscribe to Chasing Path and hit the bell icon to stay updated on our latest motivational videos. Keep chasing your dreams, your path to success begins here.